everyone. This is the Morning Motivator, and so I just want to go over really quick, just priming ourselves in the morning. And a lot of times, that's something that can really get away from us. And Tony Robbins always has this saying: if we don't have 10 minutes, we don't have a life. And so your mornings can be crazy. I've got 3 kids; they're never up on time. One's up, one's down. One's whatever. But just always putting your hand on your heart kind of helps just bring it from the head to the heart, because once again, live in the head, you're dead. And, we overthink so much in life, and our overthinking, if you knew that your overthinking is causing your energy to get drained, and all of a sudden you're manifesting exactly it is what you want and what you don't want. So, it's kind of, and people say, oh yeah, it's easy for you to say or whatever, but it's true for all of us. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yesterday Brittany did my hair, and it was so, she's had a really, 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 really rough month, and so when I went in there, it was like you could just tell that she just emotionally, mentally was down, and so it was like, and of course she should be, right? I mean, she's been hit majorly hard. And so all of a sudden we just started, as she was doing my hair, we just started saying all the things we're grateful for. We started just really like claiming, and oh my God, you could see within a matter of minutes the energy shift, like the depression lift, and it was like all of a sudden feeling alive. So if you're stuck right now, or if you even feel depressed, you cannot be depressed and be 100% grateful at the same time. And I just want to explain a little bit, because some people say, oh, well, I tried it for one day and it didn't work. You've had years, especially if your brain is used to, it takes, and I learned this from my guy last night. We were on a business mastery call. So thank you so much to my good friend. He's an amazing life coach. So anyway, what he's really sharing is seeing that we have 17 seconds. So when you start to think a negative thought, and at 17 seconds, if you don't change that thought immediately, it links to another thought. So 17 seconds is all you got. So it was mind-blowing, and he's just an extraordinary, he's going to be an amazing, life coach. I just see his future is going to be so bright. But so think about it. Every 17 seconds, if we are linking a negative thought and then that thought and that thought, well, then all of a sudden you can see how quickly our world can be consumed with just so much negative feelings and negative emotions. And so what's beautiful is if we can link a positive thought to a positive thought to a positive thought, and I've literally seen this happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, even when people wrong you, believe me, I've been wrong. I could write a book. I should write a book. We could always say, okay, this happened, that was wrong. Or, in my mind, it was wrong. And then you can create a whole story. And it's that story that kills us, because in the story, right, is where we get our identities, it's where we get our worth, it's where we get our value, it's where we get, what I mean, everything. Like it's everything, and it's just a story, right? So so anyway, it's like, taking a sledgehammer to the story. So what is your story? You've got 17 seconds if something negative comes into your mind to switch it, or else it starts to chain. And once that chain starts, the links kind of almost get stronger. So here is the test today, because I don't want to be too long. So the test is, when you see that meter, we've had a whole lifetime, right? And so, are we going to live in the negative, where our thoughts are just what we're meditating on, what we're saying? If you're saying some pretty bad stuff like I'll never, we never want to ever say I'll never. Because the first thing when you say, I'll never do this, or I'll never do that, or I'll never be, I'll never create, oh my gosh, right? We are just taking out, God spoke and the world was created, right? The power of life and death are in the tongue, right? So we want to always be speaking life. Always speak life over your children. Speak life over your husband, as hard as that can be sometimes. I love you, Danny Bono. We want to speak life, because life gives energy, right? I've got some of the best friends in my life, right, that love me and I love them. And when you start to create that energy where you just love people and they know that you love them and they love you, oh my gosh, watch out. So let's talk about the meter, because a lot of people say, well, I tried this for a few days and it just didn't work. Well, sometimes you have years of stinking thinking, years of living in the head and you're dead. So it's a pattern, right? It's a pattern. And, I'm going to say this because I've been depressed. I've lived depressed for many years of my life, and I didn't realize how it was linked to a pattern, right? Depression can be linked to a pattern. So For me to get into a mode of depression, it was very easy. I could think of how I was a victim, injustice happened, and I would meditate on it over and over and over and over again until my depression was so strong. I mean, I could just, at a drop of a hat, go into it. My shoulders, I mean, it was just a whole state. It was like a state, but that state became a pattern because the chains had linked so strong, and it was such an easy place for me to live inside, because it was like, and I could spend, 6 months out of my life just totally depressed, and I didn't realize at all that I had control of it. I mean, I went and got a master's in spiritual psychology. I went and got a master's in family, marriage, and therapy. I'm doing all the Tony Robbins, and it's just so beautiful, because now it's like, oh my gosh, to know thyself, right? We can be set free, to know the power of the brain. And so, this is an amazing, the best computer in the world if we program it right. If we program it wrong, it is going to be your worst enemy. You're going to see things in life that you love. You're going to sabotage. You're going to say, why is it I want to lose 30 pounds, but yet I'm stopping by McDonald's every day? You know what I mean? Why is it that I want to have a beautiful marriage, but yet I can't even look at my husband with love, right? I want amazing kids, but yet, oh my gosh, they drive me nuts, right? Because of the programming, right? And if we can't speak life and love and abundance, and even if it's not in your life right now, you might have none of it, but you start speaking it, right? I'm grateful for the heart in my chest. I'm grateful for the face that, that gets me on my smile, right? My smile, oh my God, I'm grateful for my smile. I'm grateful for my arms, right? Because I used to feel like my face was fat, and oh my God, you know what I mean? And I look back now and I think, oh my gosh, I was so hard on myself, right? And would you ever want your daughters, your sons being as hard on themselves as you are on yourself, right? You would die. You would say no, right? When Mike, Titus, we gave Titus a self-made haircut yesterday, and he cried, and he said, I'm bald and I'm ugly. And it was like, no, we got to unlink that right now. It's a haircut, and your hair grows back. And Titus, no matter what you could do, you could not be ugly. You are the cutest kid on the planet, and I don't care if you were, you know what I mean? Like you fell and you were all scarred up. It's your inner self that just radiates. And that inner self and that inner shine that you have is so attractive. Believe me, the whole world's not in love with Titus Bono because of your looks. It's because of what's going on the inside, dude. And we had to have that conversation because immediately it was so quick for him to link that a haircut meant he was ugly. And, I was like seeing in my past, I would have linked that 10 years ago for sure, 20 years, you know what I mean? I would have looked in high school, I got a bad haircut, I linked it, right? So to see that pattern playing out, but we have a moment to break it. So I love you guys. I won't take too much of your time. And Cindy Hall, I love it. Yes, Sonia, yes, and gratitude. It's everything. We have to lead with it. Being grateful. You cannot be depressed and be grateful. You cannot be angry and be grateful, right? No matter what was wrong to you, no matter if you've been through a divorce, no matter if you've been through lawsuits, no matter whatever, right? We cannot say that anything has wronged us, right? No one, right? People can take or whatever, right? But when you're in a place of gratitude, it doesn't feel like taking. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? If you're in a place of hate and hurt, the whole world's taking. The whole world's using. But when you're in a place of love, the whole world's giving. Do you see the paradigm? Okay, I love you. So wherever you're at, if you're in your car, if you're homeless, if you're just got a hold of this video, start being grateful for the feet that carry you, for the legs, for the arms. If there's not any physical, material things to be grateful, start just pouring out your gratitude, right? Just pouring it out and watch how fast life changes for you. I love you. I love you. I love you. We can change in a moment. We're 2 millimeters away from our destiny. We're 2 millimeters away from poverty. When you think of it like that, right? Anything that I want could go away in 2 minutes if I start thinking that the world doesn't work. But the world does work. And so many of you have gifts and dreams inside of you, and you're scared, and you're playing scared. So I'm talking to all of you out there that have an idea in your heart, you have something, just start being grateful, start manifesting it, and you're gonna see, because God says, you know what I mean? We are to live life and life abundantly. Ask and you shall receive if we ask the right questions. Many of us are not asking the good questions. We're saying, how come I'm a failure? You're gonna get a crappy answer, I promise you. If you say, okay, how can I do this in a way that I succeed, and not only succeed, but I am so successful that I can't escape it. Different set of answers are gonna come to you. I love you, I love you, I love you. God bless you. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.